Something made this late season matchup between the New York Knicks and the Washington Wizards, who were resting 4 of their starters, quite interesting. The Knicks, who had a chance to clinch an appearance in the postseason, came out flat. After leading by just 3 after the first quarter, they lost the second 30-19 and found themselves with a double-digit deficit early in the second half. Now it was the third and fourth quarters that changed things for New York and flipped the night script in what was a Sunday night victory for them over the Washington Wizards. The Knicks looked tired to close the first half of action as they struggled to replace the production of Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett. Both of those lefties were out for today's game. Randle with the ankle injury he suffered last week, Barrett with an illness that was announced today. Josh Hart played almost 17 consecutive minutes to end the first half, filling in at both the small and power forward positions for Barrett and Randle. Now, Jalen Brunson led the team in scoring at halftime, which lasted all the way until late in the fourth quarter. That's when Quentin Grimes overtook that title with one of his 6 made three-point shots. Grimes and quickly ran amok in the third and fourth quarters, finishing the game with 27 and 22 points respectively. But it was Obi Toppin who ended up being the offensive star of the night for the Knicks. Toppin played 33 minutes and contributed 21 points, a rebound, and 4 assists in the absence of Randle, including several highlight dunks and passes. The ball moved faster without Randle and Barrett active for New York, who typically dominate opposing defenses with their strength and physicality in a ground and pound style. Similarly to the game against Houston, another inferior opponent New York was expected to take care of easily. It took until the second half for the Knicks to really kick things into gear. Once they did, there wasn't much of a game left, just time running out on the clock as the team visiting Madison Square Garden awaited their fate. Josh Hart exited the game tonight after what looked like a tweak of his ankle, leaving fans worried, went to the locker room, got some new tape put on, and came right back to the bench. It was officially called a retaping by the Knicks coaching staff and PR department. New York did not require Hart's services for the rest of the evening, though, as the game was locked away for good at that point. Not even a late scoring barrage from lottery pick Johnny Davis for Washington was enough to get them back in it, as New York had already run away with the game. Despite instances of dead legs like at the end of the first half, the Knicks do typically play faster with Toppin in the lineup over Randle, as aforementioned. Faster doesn't always mean better, though, as Randle slows the game down with his ISO possessions that landed him a spot in this year's All-Star game in Salt Lake City. Tom Thibodeau spoke to these differences in play after the game.
But, whatever, we got to put the team first, sacrifice, and we have 2 days off, get ready for the next one.
Hey, Tom, without Julius tonight, not saying it's pace. You've said all season you want to play with more pace. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but the team does play faster when Obi's in. You saw Mitchell had 4 assists tonight, just keeping the ball moving. Is there anything you learn or can learn from, Obi being in the ball moving more?
Julius can play fast too.
Right.
And he has. If you're asking, I'd rather be at full strength, but
of course,
when somebody's out, you're going to play differently. What are the strengths of the team? And look, to be successful in the playoffs, you have to do both. You need easy baskets, but you also need execution in the half court. You have to have guys that can go off the dribble. You have to have guys that play back to the basket. You have to have a pick and roll game. Those are all things. So you have to have the balance of it all. Like I laugh about, people say, oh, you got to play fast. Well, yeah, we want to play fast, but the other team also has something to do with that. And then you have to have balance. Balance wins. When you look at the final 4 teams each year, they're balanced. So you want to play fast, but you want to execute in half court. So whatever the strengths of the club are, that's what we want to do.
It was all business in the postgame pressers from the Knicks, who cited their dedication to finishing out the season strong and their focus on Wednesday night against Indiana. That game against the Pacers, we'll have you covered for that game against the Pacers and the rest of the Knicks season, as they've now officially clinched a berth in the 2023 postseason and will likely be playing the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. Make sure to stay connected to the WFUV Sports social channels for the coverage of myself and our other Knick beat reporters, and stay tuned because it's about to get serious in these playoffs. I'm Kris Pursiainen signing out from Madison Square Garden.